What's up, guys? It's KB. Make sure you subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Click the bell icon down below so you don't miss a single video from us. And thanks for tuning in to another video from Underground Sports Philadelphia. Now let's get into it.
Philadelphia, baby, you're going to love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
Powell going deep, and it's caught in the end zone for a touchdown by Xavier Diaz. A great throw, Diaz wide open.
.32-yarder here, well within his range.
Ball snap, spotted, kick is up, and it is down the middle.
Good by Plenty.
It looks like it's going to be short. Stretch that, baby. There we go. Give it a good pull. And Vineland's defense. Oh, no.
What? That was a little suspect there.
Welcome back, everybody, to another edition of Guzman's Gridiron, the official Vineland High School football coaches show here at Underground Sports Philadelphia, presented by the Red and Gray Gridiron Group. Kyle Bennett, Coach Guzman here with you each and every week throughout the season. Good to be back for another episode. Before we get into everything, make sure you guys are following Vineland Football on social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. They're all over. Follow Underground Sports Philadelphia as well. We're on every social platform. Subscribe to the podcast feed. That way you know when Guzman's Gridiron is available to listen to. It has its very own podcast feed on Apple and Spotify, and it also airs on the Underground Sports Philadelphia podcast feed as well each and every week. And if you want to watch the show live and see our two handsome faces every single week, it's youtube.com/@Underground Sports Philadelphia each and every week. It premieres the night before game day, like a brand spanking new episode of television. It's like a premiere, so you can watch it live. It's available to watch on playback as well on our YouTube channel. So be sure to subscribe and click that bell icon so you know when new episodes are available to watch. Coach, good to be back.
Always good to be seen.
We're doing a little solo, no camera operator this week, but we're making the magic happen nonetheless. Unfortunately, we're sitting here talking about a loss against ACIT, 20-19, the final score. And I think in a lot of the heart of hearts, coaching staff, players, us as broadcasters, we felt like you guys played the better game, but at the end of the day, the result didn't reflect that.
Yes, again, a very heartfelt loss. The kids were, pretty, emotionally drained. Staff was pretty emotionally drained as well. But again, kudos to ACIT for keeping their poise and finishing the game and getting their W.
It was one of those things we talked about in the booth too, that it was pretty impressive just from an overall football standpoint to watch their growth as a team and seeing where they matched up from where they were last year, where you guys won 18-0, and how they just didn't quit this year. Like last year, I felt like it was like new program for them, a lot of just nuances that they were trying to learn. And this year they kind of overcame a lot of that, and it was impressive to watch from just an overall game management standpoint. And I think they have a very bright future as a program.
Yeah, again, that coaching staff over there does an excellent job. We were one play or two away from capping it, and it just didn't fall on our side.
take me through the decision to go for two. When you guys go for two, you unfortunately missed the 2-point conversion, but take me through that decision-making process and what the conversation is on the sideline between yourself, Coach Smith, Coach Shelton, Henry Garton, and everybody to kind of make that decision to say, hey, we're going to go for two here. We're going to try to take the lead.
Well, being so that we were getting a lot of pressure right up the middle when we tried our field goals and our extra points, I made the call. It was me. No one else. It was me. I made the call. I said, let's go for it. Let's go for two. I mean, if we got everything blocked right up the gut, a few plays earlier, twice in a row, why am I going to go ahead and risk again just to tie it? No, let's go ahead. Let's try to ice this thing. And again, I take everything on the chin. It was me.
And I feel like there was a lot of growth for you guys in this game from week 0 to week 1, and just seeing the growth, especially on offense. You guys obviously put points up on the board this week. The offense seemed to be a lot more cohesive as a unit, but when there is that cohesiveness, there's also bumps in the road, and it felt like every single running back for you guys got banged up in this game to varying degrees. I don't know what it was about the running back position in general, but it felt like 4 of your running backs on Friday night got banged up to varying levels of injury.
Yes, again, 3 of them were already battling injuries, sustained during the off season. So they just kept on snowballing, and it snowballed to a point where we were pretty banged up right now. So again, no excuses. We lost. That's it. We took the L, and we're taking the L, and actually right now in film study and learning from our mistakes.
It felt like you guys went to, even before the injuries were being sustained, felt like you guys got more accustomed to that stable of running backs that we saw a lot last year.
Right.
What was kind of the decision-making process as the week went on and going into this matchup that said, hey, let's feature a lot more than just George, who is wildly talented, as we all know,
right.
But knowing that you have, 3, 4, 5 deep at running back, it felt like you got different looks, whether it was Omar, Carlton. There was different guys back there that
right.
featured different skill sets at the running back position, and I thought worked to your advantage in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I mean, we have the pleasure of having that type of running back room where each one of our kids gives you a different look. Georgie, he's going to be that change of pace back that really, pops out in the screen because of his speed. Omar's that bruiser downhill guy. Carlton does a little of both. CJ. I mean, everyone. Benny. Mm-hmm. Benny gets in there. He does a great job for us too. He's more of a utility guy. So again, kudos to them for not giving up. Our team never gave up throughout the whole matchup. But again, when you have a lot of mental errors, which we did, we shot ourselves in the foot a lot. You're just not going to ice that game off.
And on the offensive side of the ball, I think we saw a lot of different looks from you guys this week as opposed to week 0. A few plays where you guys got under center, and getting Elijah more comfortable under center as well.
Yes.
Is that something you guys are trying to work on with him so that he's comfortable, whether it is shotgun where it looks like he is a lot more comfortable, and then kind of just getting his feet wet and getting more comfortable with his hands under center?
Yes, Coach Fitton, Coach Shelton do a great job of, helping Elijah with his maturation process. And ultimately, giving teams different looks as well, not being back there in that, in that pistol formation, if you will, or the gun. Elijah's definitely taking on a different role, if you will, this year.
And I feel like that's helping his growth too.
Absolutely.
Not only just as a quarterback, but also as, when you play that position, you are a de facto leader. Absolutely. In the huddle, in the locker room. I feel like that's also helping him. Kind of bumps in the road and kind of being uncomfortable helps you progress and develop as a player.
It does. Elijah really has taken on a, quiet leadership role. He's more of a lead by example guy. And, giving him more of the playbook, if you will, giving him more of that playbook is actually making him feel as though, you know what, I can do this. I can go ahead, be it so that I'm in the gun, be it so that I'm under center. I can command this offense from wherever coach wants me to go ahead and line up at.
I feel like with the offense progressing, you get points on the board, and
Right.
it looked a lot more fluid too. Like against Delsey versus against ACIT, it felt like the offense had a lot more just like motion to it and a lot more fluidity. What do you think added to that, practice-wise leading into this game, and what did you take away from just the offense being able to, sustain drives and move the ball down the field and wind up in the end zone a couple times?
Again, kudos to my offensive guys. They do a great job. Coach G with the line, Coach, Shelton, being part OC with Coach Fitton. They do an excellent job, man. These are guys that have played at a high level. These are guys that know the game of football. There's a lot of people that might talk as if they know, but they have no clue. You talk with these guys, they know football. They know how to get the best out of their kids. Again, they did an excellent job for us. It's just, again, they went ahead. They tried to give the kids a different scheme, if you will, offensively. And the kids carried it out to a T other than, the mistakes they made along the way. So, I tip my hat to my guys, and I tip my hat to my kids. Ultimately, we're in the business of kids, so if you can't get that, through your head that we're in the business of kids and trying to help not just as far as the football aspect, but in their daily lives, they know that we're there for them. They know who the guys are that are really there for them.
100%. And, first points of the season, a beautiful touchdown pass from Elijah to Xyleek Travis, who we will get to in just a moment. But as you guys watch that play and kind of just a corner fade route, and Xyleek's able to control his body, I think that was the most impressive part of that touchdown, was his body control that close to the sideline, keeping his feet in bounds, holding on to the football. It was an impressive sequence to watch. What's going through your guys' minds as you see, Elijah feels like he has the pass, he has the matchup he wants, gets the ball perfectly floated, and then Xyleek just an incredible pinpoint of the ball, finds the tip of the ball and brings it in for 6.
Mr. Travis he's a heck of a player, man.
He's awesome.
He's exciting. I feel ecstatic for this kid. This is a kid that last year was just, absolutely destroyed that he couldn't really play, and this year it's like he took everything out on that field, and not just in that game, but he's one of our consistent guys. He's in Williamstown, he's making unbelievable catches and double coverage, and he makes that sideline catch in Williamstown, triple covered. This kid is a baller. Period.
Both
not
sides of the field, too.
I was just gonna say he's not a one-trick pony.
Right.
He's an offensive player, and he gives you that defense as well. He's just a football player, man, and an excellent teammate.
It's high praise, and I know it's high praise, everyone, but he has that Travis Hunter in him, and you watch Travis Hunter last year at Colorado. We're going to get to watch him in the NFL now with the Jaguars. He's just different on the field, both sides of the field. It's almost like he has two different brains operating, where it's like, this is my offensive brain, this is my defensive brain. When I'm on offense, I don't care about defense. When I'm on defense, I don't care about offense. Xyleek has that same characteristic about him, where when he's on offense, he's trying to do his opponent as dirty as possible in a respectful way and being like, I'm going to win this matchup.
100%.
Defensively, he does the same thing, but he's like, I'm not letting you get this ball.
Yes.
It's impressive to watch.
Yeah. Again, Xyleek knows how I feel about him. Just a great kid, period. Then you go ahead and you put that helmet and the pads on him. He's an excellent football player, man. He the way that he can control his body in the air, the way that he high points the ball, the way that he runs his routes, the way that he breaks into his second phase of his route. The kid is just a baller, man. Defensively, the way that he reads, the way that he goes ahead and just pays so much attention to detail when he watches film, that any little bit that offensive player can give him, by way of a key, he's going to read that and he's going to come with it and make your day very miserable. So kudos to Trav. Just a grade A kid, man. Grade A.
100%. I mean, after the game, he was pretty emotional, and he wears his heart on his sleeve for
100%.
all the right reasons. He's a competitor, but he wants everyone around him to share in that competitive nature and really hone in on that competitive spirit. And I think that showcases the type of leader, and that's why he was a captain on Friday night. That's why he's a captain of this team. Like, he is the ultimate competitor, but he also wants that to breed and fester throughout the entire locker room so that everyone is at their best week in and week out.
Yeah, Xyleek is a very infectious energy, if you will. The guy is just, he's loved by his teammates. He's loved by the coaching staff. And he's a player that really matured into his own as far as, offensively speaking or defensively speaking. He's just matured into a great football player that any program, once he graduates here, any program is going to want to go ahead and get their hands on this kid. He's a special kid.
And that's why, Coach Goose, we were thinking of names last year for this award, and it finally clicked for me after giving it to Aiden last week. Yes. We're calling this our Homegrown Player of the Week.
Okay.
It's the Homegrown Player of the Week because guess what? These kids are from Vineland. They want to play in Vineland, and that's why they're the Homegrown Player of the Week, and that is Xyleek Travis this week. And it is brought to you by Family Medical Equipment, our new partners. And as a full home medical equipment company, Family Medical Equipment offers specialty equipment for pediatrics through geriatrics. Since 2001, Family Medical Equipment has been a trusted service throughout New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Delaware for essential healthcare needs. You can visit their Vineland retail shop at 106 West Landis Avenue, Unit 10, and experience the difference that a family business provides. And we thank them for being a new partner here at Guzman's Gridiron and our Homegrown Player of the Week partner this week. And Xyleek put that on full display. Scores the first points of the season for you guys. Showcases, the emotion that goes into a game like that, and just wants everyone on the team to feel that and use it to get better.
Absolutely. Again, one of the guys in the locker room that's not only a leader by what he does, but he's a vocal leader. The kids rally around him. They rally around that energy. So we're ecstatic to have that kid on our team.
And when he goes and plays the way that he did and never quit, similar to Aiden, like we talked about last week, when you have guys like that in the locker room, that is such a young and new varsity locker room where these guys haven't played that much varsity football, let alone JV, freshman, whatever it may be, right. To have those type of players in your locker room, how valuable is that? How much, pressure off of your shoulders as coaches is that to know I can trust a guy like Xyleek to really keep these guys in order and let them know this is what this is all about.
It's an incredible feel to know that kids like an Aiden Barriento or kids like Xyleek Travis, they bring all the guys together in a good way. Their energy speaks volumes. Their leadership, like I spoke about Aiden last week, he's matured into a leader, man. He's a leader on the team, and the kids rally behind them as well. So it's just a pleasure to have these type of players on the team that can go ahead and hone our team's energy as one, and we go out there and we give it our best.
Multiple touchdowns this week, and I think the way that, the offense was able to kind of balance the defense really gave you guys more of a complete team feel this past week. Right. And on the defensive side of things, there were some miscues, but overall I feel like the defense played a very solid game again back-to-back weeks.
Yes, again, you have Coach Smith, unbelievable football mind. I mean, guys that'll sit in there and just go back and forth. You can be in a room with him all day long. With Smith and Shelton, you better know what you're talking about, because they sure as heck do. And it'll make you feel weird if you go into a room with them too, and you think that you know football, and then your mind is warped. Mm-hmm. You're like, oh, I overstepped my bounds. I have no idea what these guys are talking about. And there is no fluff talk either. Like, oh, you can go ahead and do this. They're going to look at you like, all right, please leave the room. You have no idea what football is. You have no idea what a defensive scheme is, let alone football. So you can leave. You know what I mean?
100%.
So, you go into a room with them two, you better have your ducks in a row. If not, they're going to expose you. They're going to expose
And it's not going to be fun.
It's not. It's going to be, again, an embarrassment for the person that steps in the room and has no idea about football. You know what I mean? Like, when you're talking football, you better talk football, not, well, it's kind of like this. I want this. They're going to look at you like you can exit left. You better bring football jargon, real football verbiage. If not,
it's like another language.
Yeah, leave the room. They don't want to hear. They won't even pay attention to
right.
You. If you have no idea what you're talking about, and you're telling them, well, maybe if you do this and put these guys in this position and put this, maybe bring the free safety. Leave the room.
I'm even confused by that, and I'm not a football savant.
Yeah. No. These guys are on a whole different. Like, they can go right now and coach at a college level with no problem.
They will teach you football 101.
Yes. Real quick, real fast, anyone. That's anybody. So, again, man, I'm lucky to have these guys on staff, guys that are proven winners, guys that, just are proven good men in what they do and what they provide for our kids here at Vineland.
First sack on defense this past week, couple of turnovers this week too. I think that showcases just the progress from week 0 to week 1 is like, hey, we're causing turnovers. We're getting after the quarterback. We're finally causing a ruckus on defense, if you will. What did you guys take away from that, from the defense really growing and, getting turnovers? That's a part of a winning formula, is winning the turnover battle, which, if I'm not mistaken, you guys did win the turnover battle, and I think that's a positive to take away from this game. You get your first sack of the season.
Yes.
Obviously, it's not the overall result, but it's a nice little tally mark to say, hey, we're on the board here. This is what we have to do if we want to keep being successful.
Yes. Again, we can say all this, and, we tallied up some good defensive plays, the offensive plays at the end. However, we did not wrap it up with a bow. And we're looking to go ahead and right our wrongs, man. And again, it always stems to the fact that we need to be mentally ready at all times. I spoke to my kids, and I spoke to them in a way that they understand. This is a mental game, man. It's 90% mental, 10% physical. And if you can't grasp things, you got to keep on asking questions, and we'll pose it to you in a way that you can go ahead and grasp the information. So, it's tough. It's tough, Kyle.
No, obviously, I think the big glaring part of the past 2 weeks has been special teams.
Yes.
What has the emphasis, the overall coaching aspect of that been after this game in particular, where, it was a continued theme and you want to get better, you want to improve there? What's kind of been the emphasis on the special teams unit this week as you kick off and have a short week as well?
Absolutely. Again, we want all our players, the guys that, are starters on offense, starters on defense, they've got to understand they're in a position to go ahead and also be starters on all the special teams. So we're making more of an emphasis on that. Also, again, for them to get in their playbooks and study their plays and make sure they're asking the right questions. Because, technique is everything. So, you mess up your technique on a block, there goes a pump block up the middle, or a pump block off the edge, or, there goes your, field goal block right up the gut, or field goal block off the edge. These are all fixable. They're all, again, mental mistakes, mental errors, because they know what they got to do. They were taught over and over again. We've regurgitated the information to them endless amounts of times, put it in perspective for them to go ahead and understand and be able to, apply it when it's game time. So, again, we're just going to keep on, keep pounding, that information into their heads, and we're expecting a better outcome this week.
And obviously you want the current players that are in those roles to succeed, but during a practice week when you have, back-to-back weeks of, less than subpar performance, what's kind of the competition level in practice look like? What are some things that you guys as coaches look for to really push the starters from the guys that are behind them chomping at the bit to really be in that role? What's the competition level look like in practice?
Well, again, everyone's now fighting again to like see about getting a starting role. And I told the kids, don't sit back and think, oh, I'm the starting receiver, I'm the starting tailback. That's all out the window. We haven't even gotten a win yet.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, we're going to move pieces around until ultimately we find that connection that actually works. But, we got guys that they're showing their true mettle. Quay got busy. Quayshawn got busy.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll talk about that in a little bit too. But there's young guys that they're hungry for a spot.
Right, and when the team is so young too, I feel like just the eagerness should and will be there for a lot of those guys too that want that opportunity.
Absolutely, and it should be. You shouldn't just settle. I've said that many times on this show, and that's something that I go ahead and really ingrain in our kids' heads. Don't settle for, okay, we did all right. No, you got to up the bar. Up the bar. Every practice you have, you up the bar the next practice and up the bar the next. It's got to be a step up every single time you step on that field.
We're going to take a quick break for a word from our sponsors, but on the other side, we're going to talk the JV season getting underway. We're going to prepare for a very familiar foe in Vineland High School lore coming back to town in Eastern, and a whole lot more. But don't go anywhere. You're listening and watching Guzman's Gridiron right here on Underground Sports Philadelphia. Hey, everybody, quick ad break, and I want to talk to you about our amazing sponsor, Allen Associates. And if you are looking for a reliable and experienced insurance agency that caters to all your needs, look no further than Allen Associates Insurance Services. With over 6 decades of experience under their belt, they specialize in health insurance, financial services, and accounting. Whether you're a part of the public or private sector, they've got you covered. Their family-owned business currently helps upwards of 300 groups throughout New Jersey, providing them with the best insurance options available. You can easily learn more and access their services by visiting their newly renovated website, Allen Assoc, that's ALLENASSOC.com. So join the family and let them help you secure your future. Contact them today online or by calling 856-692-2250. That's 856-692-2250. Big thank you to Allen Associates for being a proud partner of Guzman's Gridiron.
Out here, strength isn't a choice. It's a way of life. And when your back carries the weight of generations, you need support that never gives out. In the city, the load's different, but the drive is the same. When every step matters, your knees shouldn't slow you down. And when the work is done, healing isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. At Family Medical Equipment, we build relief into every stitch, strap, and product. From the fields to the office to your journey back to full strength. Family Medical Equipment. Built to support. Made to last.
Hello, I'm Mayor Anthony Fanucci. Vineland, New Jersey offers both a great business location and an outstanding quality of life. But don't just take my word for it, the experts agree. We're proud to be recognized as a premier food processing and logistics hub, one of New Jersey's most affordable and desirable cities, and one of the best places to retire in the country. Visit vinelandcity.org and see how our resources can work for you. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season.
And welcome back, everybody. Thank you to our sponsors. And, Coach, speaking of our sponsors, we got another home game, which means we're playing in good old city of Vineland.
We're playing home.
And the city of Vineland, one of our proud partners here at Guzman's Gridiron. And guess what, everyone? The Garden State Comic Fest is coming to the new Vineland Convention Center Saturday, November 15th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Sunday, November 16th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Meet Melissa Joan Hart. Yes, Sabrina the Teenage Witch is going to be in our city, plus fan favorite stars like Dan Parent, the legendary Archie's comic artist and writer, Kevin Clash, the voice of Elmo, Splinter, and Baby Sinclair, and Keith Williams, the iconic comic book inker from Marvel and more. Comics, cosplay, collectibles, and over 6,000 fans. You can visit gscfvineland.com for all the details. Again, the Garden State Comic Fest is coming to the new Vineland Convention Center, formerly the Amish Market on Landis Avenue. It's getting renovated. It's going to be super fun. I'm excited to see it. Saturday, November 15th and Sunday, November 16th. Visit gscfvineland.com for all the details. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season. Another home game on the slate, which is fantastic for us.
Absolutely.
We know where we're playing. We know the drill. We know everything going into it. A familiar foe coming to Vineland once again. And I think no matter how long we do this show, whenever we play Eastern High School, we will bring up the story of the referees.
The infamous referee play. Oh my God! I mean, if that doesn't make you like spin like The Exorcist, you know, like your head just starts to.
I feel like the shrunken head from Harry Potter, just like bouncing around on one of those double-decker buses. Like, I actually just went back and watched that clip the other day, and I was like, I still can't believe this happened. I still cannot believe it happened.
And what's sad is it's that the White Hats' own officials couldn't believe that he did it. Like the guy holding all I can think of when I see that is the guy holding that that flag. He's like, his face just like says it all. Yeah, like, okay, all right, that's what he did. That yeah, he did that.
I think it was Noah Cruz was right in front of him, and I thought Noah was going to have a conniption. Because, I mean, rightfully so.
Yeah.
You know, that play will live in infamy and fame all at the same time because we came back to win that game. But at the end of the day, that play could have cost us a game. And it's just mind-blowing every single time this game pops up on the schedule. Like, we can't not talk about it.
No.
It made national headlines.
I mean, you want to talk about trick or treat. That's what it should be called, the trick-or-treat play.
Yeah.
Because that's what it was.
I mean, around Halloween.
Yes. And, you know, it just leaves you in a state of like, wait, huh? Did he just do that? He did.
Like, to this day, outside of recent, like, live stream graduations, I believe that game is the most viewed video on the Vineland Public Schools YouTube channel.
100%. I would bet money on it. I mean, you know, again, you would have had to been there to really like, whoa, this really did happen. This guy really picked the ball up, moved the sticks together, and it was still short.
Mm-hmm.
It was still short.
And then signaled first down.
I'm like, wait, at least make it look good. Like, you know, get half the ball or the front of the ball. No, I'm just going to put it 2 inches before, but I'm going to call it anyway.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it was just a different – it was just a weird day. But thank the Lord that our kids got the W at the end. The outcome was what it should have been.
100%. I mean, just one of those had to be there moments,
yes.
but also it broke the barrier of Vineland High School. It went to, USA Today. We were on Sports Center. John Boy did a breakdown. It was on Barstool Sports.
Yes.
We did a whole waiting for Russo's like official announcement about what was going to happen episode at like 9:30 in the morning that Saturday. Like it was a wild time, all thanks to Kevin Minnick just recording his computer screen. And it just went nuclear. It was one of the wildest times that I think I'll remember forever.
100% agreed. It's just one of those things that it'll never, ever leave your frame of thought. It's just there.
Yeah, it lives in that little pocket of your brain. And then when you see the word Eastern, you're like, You're like the Leo DiCaprio meme, just pointing at the TV. That's what you become.
This is it.
We will talk about the game in just a little bit, but obviously today, as we record this on Monday, JV getting their season in full swing.
Yes.
What's the expectation when, we were talking a little bit before we started recording too, with the team so young, a lot of these guys are also playing JV along with varsity. How do you guys view that as a positive, as a building point, and giving these guys extra, game time to really develop their skills? And obviously it's not at the varsity level, but JV is pretty damn close. You're going to get a lot of guys that are playing both JV and varsity at other schools too. How do you guys use JV as a coaching tool to really help these guys progress as the season moves forward?
Well, you kind of nailed it in that one word, development. It's about player development, okay? So if you're really not ready yet, per se, for a full varsity stint, we're going to give you extra reps at the JV level. And that's where you go ahead and you go ahead and work on your foundational components, you work on all the little things that you may have missed in a varsity game. It moves faster, right? So, player development is everything here. We're going to go ahead and make sure that our kids go ahead and get that look, get those extra reps that is really needed. So when they come up to a varsity game, now they had that experience. They know how to react to certain situations where if we don't go ahead and develop these kids properly, they're always going to be behind the 8 ball.
When you have guys playing both JV, varsity, some of them playing both ways on varsity, keeping care of their bodies and taking care of themselves is a huge component. And obviously we talked a little bit about it, but our family medical equipment injury report, what was kind of the damage coming out of Friday? Obviously a lot of, high profile injuries with guys leaving the game. How are we looking, 48 plus hours after the fact, and where are we kind of sitting with a lot of these injuries?
I'm not going to sit here and lie. We're pretty banged up. Our line, we have a couple guys on the line that are pretty, pretty jammed up there, and Lorenzo's a little banged up. You got Adonai, who's a little banged up. Of course, Zincraft, a little banged up. You have Georgie, you have Omar, you have Carlton. We got some guys that start for us offensively that are great players in their own right. And next man up. There's no excuses in football, man. So next man up, it's gonna leave room for guys to go ahead and showcase their skills. We're gonna be making sure that we analyze film today from the JV game and see ultimately, who can we bring up in those spots, and really trust that they're gonna get the job done.
And I mean, on Friday night, it certainly felt like, obviously we talked about damn near every running back getting banged up one way or another.
Yep.
Georgie's injury felt like the most severe just by his reaction and just the way that he had to be helped off the field. What's the timetable kind of looking like in a brief, pocket there for George where, he is such a pivotal part of the offense. Like you said, he's the change of pace. He's the guy that's going to, pop off the page with the speed and his change of direction. What's kind of the timetable for his return?
So, in speaking with TD, our athletic trainer, he's telling me that, we're going to cross our fingers and see about this Thursday, Georgie being ready.
Wow.
So let's cross our fingers and see, but that's a tough kid. We got tough kids here in Vineland, man. We got tough kids here in Vineland. We got great kids here in Vineland. So, me personally, I'm expecting them to come back, but again, at what capacity?
Right, and managing it so it doesn't get worse and be a thing where he's gone for an extended amount of time. But, I mean, to possibly be ready for Thursday with where it looked like if you were in the stadium or watched the game on Friday night, it looked a lot more severe than what it could have potentially ended up being. So that's a great sign and super stoked for George because he was having a great game too when he got injured. It was unfortunate. He was running the ball really well, seeing the field really well, but to know that he's going to be available potentially Thursday night is fantastic news for you guys.
Yes, it keeps us, having having that glow to have him come back on the field. Omar as well. He's a day-to-day guy.
Playing both sides of the ball too.
Playing both sides of the ball. So, again, we have to really watch the pitch count, on these kids. Carlton again.
Showed a lot of flashes.
Yeah.
I was very impressed with how he played on Friday.
The kid's a talent. He is. I always tell him, you're going to write your own ticket, but you've got to want it. You've got to display it. And you've got to, make sure that you mentally are ready to go, ready to rock and roll. And he showed it on last Friday.
Some of those moments, it makes me very happy we don't have a camera on our broadcast to see myself and Marcelino up there, because when he was hitting some of those runs, we were hitting the Carlton up there, and we were stoked for him because he looked fantastic. And like we said, that stable of running backs really helps in a situation like this too, knowing you have that much depth at a position where not a lot of schools are that lucky to have multiple running backs who can just step in on the fly and give you a different look, but also still being successful running the football.
Absolutely. We're very happy to have all these guys here at Vineland, and they stayed with us. That running back room works really well together. Coach Tio has them kids working hard, making sure that they're working on all the little things like ball security, making sure that they're holding the ball high and tight. 2 hands on the ball through traffic. All the little things get drilled into these kids' head. I mean, and who better to do it than T.O.? I mean, the man-child. I mean, you're talking about a guy who played at a high level in high school, went on to college, played at a high level there. Just an absolute phenom. So, we have a great running backs coach in T.O., and we're really happy to have him here at Vineland.
When it comes to this week's matchup and our game preview is brought to you by our friends at Allen Associates, one of our great partners here at Guzman's Gridiron. And if you're looking for a reliable and experienced insurance agency that caters to all your needs, look no further than Allen Associates Insurance Services. With over 6 decades of experience under their belt, they're celebrating 65 years this year. They specialize in health insurance, financial services, and accounting. And whether you're part of the public or private sector, they've got you covered. Their family-owned business is currently helping upwards of 300 groups throughout New Jersey, providing them with the best insurance options available. You can easily learn more and access their services by visiting their newly renovated website, which is linked in the description of both the audio and video versions of the show. So join the family and let them help you secure your future. Contact them today online or call them at 856-692-2250. That's 856-692-2250. Big thank you to Allen Associates for being a long-standing partner here at Guzman's Gridiron. Eastern coming to town, a formidable opponent. Been kind of a back-and-forth series since they've been on the schedule the past few years. We've won some, they've won some. What are some of the things that you guys have picked up on film so far when you've looked at what they've been able to do in the early go this year?
One thing I could definitely tell you is they're definitely a physical team. They're definitely a well-coached team. They have a great coaching staff over there, and they get after it. They definitely get after it early. So, we got our work cut out for us. That's for sure. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But we're willing to meet that charge head on. So, come Thursday, we'll see what happens.
They're a team that in the past they've been more pass happy than running the ball happy. Does that feel like it's still kind of their niche in terms of team philosophy? Are they a pass first, or are they kind of balancing things out a lot more than what you've seen in the past?
I would say more of a balanced approach that they have. They have some size up front. And their skill positions are pretty good. So they're definitely more of a balanced team.
What do you guys do with, for lack of a better term, an inexperienced roster in terms of week to week and the turnover at the varsity level this year with such a young group? First short week, coming off a Friday game, Thursday game right after. What's kind of the teaching philosophy almost there, instead of the coaching philosophy, but like teaching these guys what it's all about to kind of dig deep and knowing that, everything's going to be abbreviated. Things are going to move up a day. It's going to be a lot more fast-paced getting ready for this game than what Delsey was, than what ACIT was. What's kind of that message to these guys to prepare them for their first short week of their careers?
Well, ultimately, we've got to focus in. We've got to handle our business, period. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. There's no excuses. And I keep drilling that into my kids' heads. No excuses, man. No I don't want to hear them. I do not want to hear any excuses. All I want is for you guys to execute as a team together. We'll go ahead. We'll relay the information, and you execute that information.
First 2 days of school were in session. The last game that played. This is the first full week of school, too. Mm-hmm. Seeing these guys get into a school routine now, what's kind of the message now that, they've had 48 hours of school day, in the books, and really, having that, lack of a better term, work-life balance of, hey, you got to take care of the things in the classroom if you want to take care of things on the football field Thursday, Friday, Saturday night?
Well, it's been like this. First, you're a student athlete.
Mm-hmm.
It's not an athlete student. So they know myself, the coaching staff always preach student first. So they've got to handle all their classwork. They got to handle what they got to handle in their classroom setting. And then that athlete portion will come later, right? So at 2:30, they go ahead, hurry up, get in that locker room. Or, by the way, at 2 o'clock when school ends, they hurry up, and then by 2:30 they're out in that on that field ready to practice. So we definitely stress to them, make sure that you handle your business in that classroom, because if you don't, you're out.
And we talked about it last week, too, of just, a lot of the freshmen coming in, too. It's a change in schedule from what it was in middle school and kind of being now the small fish in the big pond versus being the big fish in the small pond. What have you seen from the younger guys these first couple days of the school year and how they've kind of adjusted and gotten acclimated?
I'm really happy. I mean, the younger guys, they've gotten right on pace with the older guys, and they kind of found their routine and what they need to do here at Vineland High. So on both campuses. So yeah, we're pleased with what they're doing. At the end of the day, as long as they're doing all those little things right, the little things will take care of the big things, Kyle.
Obviously, Thursday game, and this Thursday is September 11th, and that is a special day with this Vineland football program, obviously with the ever-so-legendary Don Adams.
Yes.
Was that part of scheduling this game? Every year, no matter where it falls, you guys do such a great job of honoring his legacy, knowing that it's being played on September 11th this year. What's kind of the feeling for you guys as coaches and what Don Adams means to this program? And if you don't know who Don Adams is, Coach, I'm sure you can eloquently speak about, what a true hero he absolutely was.
Don Adams, Coach Russo knew him, of course, before. I never got the chance to meet him. I wish I did. But I heard so many great things about him as a person. So many great things about him as a football player here at Vineland High. All I hear are great things about the man, so I know he was a great man. And, God bless him. God bless his family. God bless all the people that lost someone in 9/11. I mean, that was a bad day in history here in our good old US of A. And, we try to do our little part in celebrating Don Adams as a person, how he was in the community. And it's just nice that his family has that opportunity as well. But I think that administration does an excellent job along with the athletic department to go ahead and put that on full display.
100%. And, for this group, too, is this game something you guys talk about with them leading up to it and knowing that you're kind of not only representing yourselves, but you're representing somebody else that day on the field and knowing that you're playing for somebody's legacy?
Yes. And it gets instilled into the kids as well. They know what's at hand. We always make sure that we give them a little preface on that. And they'll know that that's a day that, it's a heavy day. It's a heavy day, period, let alone one of our own, right, perished that day. So we'll be definitely we'll have that under our hat when we go ahead and step on that field.
And it's a fascinating thing too, because we're getting to the point where a lot of these high school kids, they weren't even alive when 9/11 happened, so they don't really know the fallout of everything. They don't understand a lot of like the being there, quote unquote. Like, to me, like, I was in second grade. That's one of my first vivid childhood memories, as dark and scary as that is. But like, I remember that day so well, and knowing that, you know, these kids, they weren't even alive yet. And that also blows my mind and makes me feel really old at the end of the day. But it also is one of those things that it's one of those teaching moments, again, where you can kind of teach U.S. history, you can teach legacy, you can teach, you know, being a teammate and everything all in one when you have somebody that you're playing for like Don Adams.
Absolutely. And again, I can't stress to you enough. I can't stress to the community enough. Don Adams was a great person, man. Great person from everything that I heard from all the people that knew him. Just a great person. And again, you know, God bless his family and him as well.
100%. And, you know, preparing for Eastern this Thursday, what are some things? Special teams, I assume, is at the top of the list for you guys. But what are some overall things that you guys are really looking for growth-wise and leveling up-wise from week 0 to week 1 to now week 2?
Well, again, you know, the elephant in the room is definitely special teams. So, you know, the point of emphasis this week is zero mistakes on special teams. For everyone to go ahead and carry out their duties. And also another point of emphasis that we're making sure that the kids understand is defensively, we still haven't gotten that one standout defensive game. And we're capable of a lot more defensively. We are really capable of a lot more defensively. So we're going to see. We're going to see where these guys go ahead and take this, loss. Are they going to go ahead and just, we lost 2 in a row. This might be, the third one, or no. That happened in the past. We made our mistakes. We have now made our adjustments with our coaches, and we're going to go ahead and give this thing our full go come Thursday.
It's going to be a fun one. Thursday night, September 11th, 6 p.m. kickoff at historic Gatone Stadium. Myself, Marcelino Ojeda on the call. So be sure to either attend the game, have fun, make it a safe and fun environment for everybody involved. Or if you can't make it, you can always tune in on the Vineland Public Schools YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/@VLDSchoolsTV. We're on the call the entire game. Have some fun along the way. Coach, any final thoughts going into this matchup for the team, fans, and everyone in between?
Final thoughts would be, please, again, let's make this a positive environment for our kids. It's not only, teenagers that are out there, but we have young ones, little ones that are running around who's a brother, who's a sister, who's a little cousin, spectating. So, again, be the example, like I said from the beginning. Make Vineland, Gatone Stadium that example for a lot of the other stadiums and such down here in South Jersey.
Be sure to follow Vineland Football on social media, Twitter, Instagram. Follow Underground Sports Philadelphia as well. We're on every social platform. Everything is linked in the description of both the audio and video versions of the podcast to follow both entities. Subscribe to the podcast feed on Apple and Spotify, and subscribe to the Vineland Public Schools YouTube channel so you can watch the games every single week, and subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel so you can watch Guzman's Gridiron every single game day eve as a premiere, like it's a TV show, and then it's available to watch anytime afterwards on our YouTube channel. But when you subscribe, it really helps us continue to grow and do more awesome stuff here with Vineland football as the season goes along. Coach, another one in the books. It's been fun. Looking forward to Thursday night, 6 p.m. Eastern time. Best of luck against Eastern.
Thank you.
Hopefully no referee shenanigans.
No shenanigans.
It's September. We still got a month before Halloween, okay? But thank you guys for tuning in. We will see you next week. But until then, go Vineland.